The NBA is a league driven by narratives and storylines, and the beauty of it is that there are always so many different interesting angles to focus on at any given time. This is a big year for a ton of individuals for a wide variety of reasons, with some chasing lofty aspirations, and others simply trying to establish their spot in the league before their opportunity is gone. This brings us to the topic of today's video, where we'll be discussing 5 players in particular that are entering make or break seasons in 2023 with a lot to prove. Each player on this list finds themselves here for a unique reason, and the way in which the year is make or break obviously comes with a ton of context regarding how they got into this situation in the first place. Some guys may be established big name players with their reputations on the line, and others are simply young guys who just haven't broken out as expected yet. Before we start though, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first player we'll be discussing today in a make or break season this year is an obvious selection, but it's Ben Simmons of the Brooklyn Nets. Ben Simmons has been one of the most unique players in the NBA since his arrival, and in many ways his unique nature has brought positives to his teams, but unfortunately the nature of his unique talent has also provided many negatives. He's a 6'10" primary ball handler with outstanding court vision and passing talent, who is also one of the best perimeter defenders in the game right now, but his touch around the basket is questionable, his aggression as a scorer disappears in big games, and he refuses to even try to shoot from the perimeter no matter how open he is. He's outstanding in transition, but when the game slows down as it typically does in big games and playoff atmospheres, his impact on the game diminishes, which is exactly what led to the situation that caused his departure from Philadelphia. Now that he's in Brooklyn, the expectation is that he will fit in much better and flourish more because he has 2 star scoring talents around him that can take pressure off of him in that regard. But the reason why this is make or break for him this year is from the perspective of whether or not he will ever be a star player again, or if he's just a role player with a stubbornness that holds him back from what many see as his full potential. The next player entering a make or break season this year is Cam Reddish of the New York Knicks. Cam Reddish has been on lists like this for a while because ever since he's been drafted, people who have watched him play could see clear as day that he's incredibly talented, but through 3 seasons, he's never been able to put it all together consistently. He's had plenty of flashes of potential in his first 3 years, but for every positive showing, he'd follow it up with a couple negative showings on top of it. When he got traded to New York last season, it was the first real wake-up call for him in the sense that his spot in the league is absolutely not guaranteed, and when he found himself out of the rotation altogether more often than not, it earned himself a spot on this list. If he's unable to make it work in New York this season, then he's going to enter free agency as a commodity that won't exactly be highly sought after. I am, however, still confident in him making it work, and his opening day performance last night for this season is an outstanding indicator of it. Reddish against the Grizzlies dropped an efficient 22 points off the bench, where he looked more comfortable and under control than he has in the past. He knocked down a couple big-time shots, including a game-tying 3 at the end of regulation, and he was trusted to continue playing into overtime, which tells me that he's earning the trust of Coach Tom Thibodeau. With Reddish, the question has never been about talent, it's always been about his consistency. So while his first performance of this season is a strong one, he needs to keep it up for 81 more games. The next player entering a make or break season this year is Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic. Remember this guy? At one point, he was viewed as a future Defensive Player of the Year winner and elite 2-way talent, but the last time we saw him play NBA basketball was all the way back in the bubble. He tore his ACL, and ever since then, his return has continually got delayed further and further, to the point where he still somehow isn't even healthy enough to begin this season. I'm not sure what's been going on with his rehab situation or why his recovery process has been botched as hard as it has been, but at a certain point, we have to question what he's even going to look like when he does make it back onto the court. The NBA is a league where you need to experience the pace of play and physicality on a regular basis in order to be able to compete consistently, and there is no question that all of the time Isaac has missed will affect the player that he'll be with his development down the line as well. The Magic have also been working hard to build a nice core of young talent, including drafting Paolo Banchero this year, who plays Isaac's position, so at a certain point, the Magic are going to have to make a decision regarding Isaac's future with the team, and his play will ultimately be what determines their decision. The next player entering a make-or-break season this year is Russell Westbrook of the Los Angeles Lakers. We're all tired of discussing Russell Westbrook and his situation in LA, but we can't make a video surrounding this topic without including the most obvious selection. Russ's fit on the Lakers has been questionable from the moment that he arrived, and while he definitely isn't the full blame of all of their problems like some people are trying to make it out to be, he is definitely at least contributing to them. Because of the nature of Westbrook's natural playstyle being so ball dominant and reliant on freedom to make plays regardless of the mistakes that come with it, teams are going to be less willing to hand him the keys to an offense as he continues to get up there in age. This is the last year of his contract with the Lakers, so he'll enter free agency looking for a better situation to suit himself, but the problem may become whether or not teams believe that he's worth bringing in at all, depending on how his current season goes. And finally, the last player entering a make-or-break season this year that we'll be discussing is Aleksej Pokusevski of the Oklahoma City Thunder. When Poku came into the league as a rookie, he instantly became a fan favorite because of his unicorn-esque potential. He's 7 feet tall, but plays as a shot-creating forward that shoots threes pretty often, with some creation off the dribble in his bag as well. The problem, though, is that he's another guy who has been nothing but occasional flashes, and the overall substance he provides has been objectively poor. He's shot below league average from the field in each of his first 2 seasons, he has never made over 30% of his threes for a season either, his scoring decreased from season 1 to season 2, and he doesn't exactly play stellar defense either. If his potential doesn't actually become substance this year, then the whole unicorn aura is going to wear off, and the allure with his ceiling will no longer be there, because when you're a developing young talent, you do still need to demonstrate improvement in order for a team's investment to be worth it. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below which players you think are going into make or break seasons this year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.